so it's just over 600 miles over the past year. Just a quick video today to talk about how this shoe, the Brooks Glycerin 21, has held up over that time. So there's a video on the channel from about a year ago when I first got these, my first impressions after the first couple of runs, and I sort of mentioned how I would use them over the year, and that indeed was the case. These were my long run shoes for the Berlin Marathon training block, long run shoes in general, midweek miles, sometimes at the track, every park run basically was running these, and they're now up over 600 miles. Normally I take shoes to about 400 to 500 depending on how they're wearing, but this one I was able just to keep going in it. To be fair, it's really held up well. And just diving into the various aspects of it, the upper, sometimes you get a little bit of wear here at the big toe. Your toe can kind of poke out. Nothing at all here. It's in really good condition the whole way around the shoe. Totally unlike a shoe that's gone through 600 road miles. And then into the midsole, round this DNA Loft nitrogen infused foam has been really consistent all year. If anything, I think it's kind of softened up a little bit as time's gone on. It's actually got slightly more enjoyable to run in, and even with me being maybe a slightly heavier runner, still no chance of bottoming this foam out. It's been absolutely fantastic to run in daily, long runs, really consistent no matter what the conditions, and that's the only part that maybe has changed slightly in the past maybe month, 6 weeks, is that due to the sort of outsole wearing away here. As you can see, I pretty much land on the sort of outside heel at times. Here it's kind of worn through to the foam, and then up here I tend to push off around the ball of the foot, and obviously the foam here has worn down significantly. Still a fair amount there, and again enough so that I can take this shoe out to park run, which I tend to still do, despite the fact its replacement, the Glycerin 22, is now out, is now replacing this one for me. Talk about that next week. I still think this has a little bit of life left in it. It's still really enjoyable to run in. It's still one of my favourite shoes to put on for any type of run. It's still light enough to be enjoyable even at the track. And sporty for next week, it's actually lighter than its replacement, the 22. I'll talk about that one obviously next week. And the reason I want to make this video is to show how, I guess, good value this shoe is right now. It's available in a lot of places due to the fact the replacement is out for around £100, maybe just under, so about 40% discount, and I think it's really good value. It's one I would certainly recommend picking up. Out of the last 3 or 4 versions of the Glycerin that I've bought from Brooks, and potentially even including the new one, I think this stands out. This is kind of the sweet spot of where the foam is enough that it protects you, it's comfortable, it's soft enough without being unstable. It's actually quite a stable, wide shoe, but also without being too much or too unnatural, like a lot of the recent super trainers or a lot of the shoes with carbon plates. So it gives you a really natural ride. There's no massive pronounced rocker at the front of the shoe the way you see in a lot of the more modern, let's say, super shoes, super trainers. I don't think it's great to run in those all the time. It feels better to put them on race day or maybe a special speed session or whatever. I think for daily runs, this shoe really does stand out. I would actually consider potentially buying another one if I needed to, but I don't think I need to. I think this will do me for another 100 or so miles alongside, say, the new one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next week when I'll be looking at the Brooks Glycerin 22. Having done 50 miles in it, my thoughts on this, if it's a worthy successor to the 21 that I clearly love so much, and if you should consider purchasing it.